vibes in San Diego. As the sun goes down, the lights go up at Viejas. Ready to go is Reese Dixon Waters and San Diego State, unbeaten in the Mountain West. New Mexico walks in 5-1. Tomislav Buljan, a talented freshman. Lobos and Aztecs coming up. College basketball on CBS Sportsnet, presented by Fresh Pets. It's early evening, it's San Diego, it's basketball time in the Mountain West. And look at this matchup, the Lobos 5-1 in conference, Aztecs 6-0, and ready to go on a day and a night where the Mountain West standings have changed a bit. Utah State was unbeaten, they lost on the road to Grand Canyon, who's now 4-2. So first place is on the line. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, along with Trey Demps, the former Northwestern Wildcat. This is one of the really good rivalries, maybe the best rivalry in the Mountain West, and they know each other so well.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this, Rich. You're talking about two teams that are stellar defensively, have scoring on both sides. I think it's going to be a lot of three-point field goal attempts because each of these teams play pack line defense.
It's easy to say that San Diego State is a better team right now than they were a month ago, and part of that is their backcourt has really started to score. Miles Bird, Reese Dixon Waters, those two guys have lifted their game.
Yeah, when those two guys are aggressive offensively, it elevates the San Diego State offense, especially in the half court. A lot of times San Diego State goes into what's called a flow offense where you get 5 out, and you kind of have freedom of range to create on the offensive end. I thought earlier in the season they weren't being as aggressive as they could be. As of late, in the last 4 games, they're averaging over 10 field goal attempts.
I don't think anybody thought New Mexico was going to be this good this soon, but there's a freshman who didn't want to wait, and that's Jake Hall, a flat-out shooter.
Yeah, Jake Hall is a terrific 3-level scorer, and he's not going to beat you with his speed or athleticism. Has great footwork around the painted area, can shoot the leather off the basketball, and just so good and crafty around the rim. 63% on the season on pull-up jump shots, which leads the country.
Tonight in San Diego, ready to go with the Lobos, 5-1 in conference. The Aztecs, 6-0. High stakes, big night in the Mountain West.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Fresh Pet. Healthy food fresh from the fridge. By Tremfya. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
So much history in the Mountain West between these two schools, San Diego State and New Mexico. Eric Olin just up the road at UC San Diego for a long time. His first year, completely new roster. And this lineup has got a couple freshmen in it, got a junior college transfer in it. Dayton Albury was a Utah State Aggies in it. And of course, for San Diego State, this program has been so solid since Steve Fisher started it. Brian Dutcher all the way with him, and in his 9th year now as the head coach. And of course, that national championship game appearance a few years back. Ready to roll. Big crowd as always. Trey Demps, what's the tempo in this game?
Well, I think if you're at San Diego State, you want this to be a track meet. Utilize your athleticism, especially at home. For New Mexico, I would imagine they want to slow the tempo down a little bit.
Miles Bird looking for a back cut. Threw it away, and it's a turnover to start things. New Mexico's offense is a spread them out, drive and kick. They're looking for either layups and dunks or three-point shots.
Talking to Coach Olin, they don't run plays, they run concepts, different things and actions that they have out of their 5 out.
This is Antonio Chol, the junior college transfer. Hall, the freshman, hopped the D2 transfer. And a San Diego kid. Chol launches, missed it, and Magoon Guath, who's in the starting lineup, that's good news for San Diego State with the rebound. Guath, still a little bit hampered by that knee. Every week it gets a little better from the offseason surgery.
He had a little bit of a knee-to-knee in their last game against Wyoming in the first few minutes of the game and had to sit out significant time.
He's such a unique player. First, there's the size, 7 feet, 212 pounds, and that's after adding 20 pounds in the offseason. He shoots the three very well.
Yes.
He's not a muscular guy where he can push you around, but he's got very good skills in the low post.
I mean, where he makes his money is on the defensive end, being able to alter and block shots, and he's important to their success. And wins this year, he's averaging 12 points per game, shooting 64 from the field, and losses only 7 points per game, shooting 42.
This is Albury. He's been in a lot of these big Mountain West games last year with Utah State. Hot, lost it, and it was tipped and out of bounds. It's going to stay with New Mexico.
One of the things with this San Diego State defense is you can make the argument outside of Miles Bird, their bigs might be better perimeter defenders than their guards, which is why they do so much switching 1 through 5.
The other thing about these two teams is these two coaches really like each other and know each other. In fact, they just had a moment after that last turnover where they looked at each other and smiled. Albury, deep three, missed it, and the rebound goes to Reese Dixon-Waters. Elsie Harrington, the freshman point guard. Scholl has the rebound. Albury, full speed, down in the lane, and he Bouillon wasn't ready for the pass. Dixon-Waters back the other end. He's fouled, and he'll get to the line. Nobody can shoot. Nobody can hold on to the ball right now in the first couple minutes of this game.
See again here, it's a good play from Reese Dixon-Waters in transition. Recognizes Scholl is out of position, isn't squared, and just goes straight into the body to draw the foul. And to your point, Rich, I mean, that was a great pass from Albury in transition. Almost looked like he was a little bit out of control, got up in the air. Again, I don't think Bouillon, to your point, was ready for that pass.
San Diego State offensively is by committee. They have one of the best benches in terms of points. They got a ton of points from their bench. 49% of their points, over 40 points a game. And of course, B.J. Davis, the guy off the bench. They don't have anybody scoring more than 12 points a game. Hall, stutter step and scores. This guy has really opened a lot of eyes. 6'4" out of Carlsbad nearby. He was a UCSD commit. That's where Eric Olin was coaching last year. They went to the NCAA tournament. He gets the New Mexico job. And Hall follows him to Albuquerque. Guath is grimacing as he comes onto the side. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's asking for a sub.
Guath has hurt himself. Ball's denied at the post. Here come the Lobos. Albury, this time he'll take it himself. It's off of him, and it goes the other way, but the attention is on Guath right now. Such an important part of San Diego State's team. He cut and was coming to set a pick. Well, let's take a look.
And it's almost just like something pulled in his hip area. And a lot of times when you have issues with the knee, you know, you're a lot of times compensating other parts of your body, and especially with that size and frame for Guath, you just hope he's okay.
Jeremiah Oden, who's played really well this year in his place, comes in. Oden, the senior out of Chicago. Bird, baseline. Harrington, got it. It's a three.
That's something that San Diego State has done over the last few games, is try to run Miles Bird and Reese Dixon-Waters off of pin-down screens, getting them moving off the ball.
This is Hot. It's such an unlikely backcourt with Hot and Hall. And the rebound to Jeremiah Oden. I mean, Hall was in high school last year, and Hopt was a Division II Point Loma Nazarene. Hall, ball fake, three, got it. How sweet is that?
I mean, he's almost automatic if he has any space. Over his last 3 games, 21 points per game, shooting almost 60% from 3. Nice ball fake to get the opening look.
Harrington wait for a screen, spins away from it, and rises, missed it. Good rebound there by Bouillon. Tomislav Bouillon, the Croatian, the freshman, although he's got a lot of international experience, that's what Bird does best. block shots, and then get out in transition and go length of the floor and score.
You just see the versatility of Bird being able to get the big-time block on one end and push it coast to coast. The tough finish.
Albury driving. Bird up for another block, and it looks like he fouled him. Wow. He can get going.
I mean, how about this? Just coming out of nowhere. Give me that bullion, and then coast to coast. Nice crossover there, getting to his right hand. Little Euro action for the tough finish. Great one here thus far.
College basketball tonight presented by Fresh Pet. And an 8-5 start for San Diego State. Our Fresh Pet keys to the game, Mr. Demps.
Yeah, if you look at New Mexico, I think it's controlling the tempo and the half-court offense. San Diego State loves to switch. You got to get ball movement and not be stagnant with the switches if you're New Mexico offensively. For San Diego State, getting out in transition is when they are at their best. 22 points per game in transition over the last 5 games.
What does the loss of Guath mean to San Diego State if he can't come back?
He's another guy that just can provide easy buckets, whether it's on the offensive glass, defensively switching out. He's probably their best big defender. He's able to take away pull-up threes, but also be able to protect the paint. So now it's going to have to be guys like Odin that come in that are going to have to guard the guards for New Mexico.
We watched Guath during the timeout on the table getting stretched, and they were working on what looked like that upper right leg or hip. And Albury drops in a free throw. Lobos are a really good free throw shooting team. Guath still trying to stay loose. New Mexico 76% from the line. They average 81 points a game. They're efficient offensively. They're really efficient defensively. And then the first sub coming off that New Mexico bench, Uriah Tennant. And Tennant is a guy who also committed to UC San Diego to play for Eric Olin, but then came with him to Albuquerque. Sean Newman Jr. in the game, transfer point guard. BJ Davis also in as well. So a new backcourt for the Aztecs. Heidi. Heidi spinning to his left hand, it's blocked. And a shot clock violation. J.T. Rock off the bench, the backup big with the block.
He's averaging 1.5 blocks per game in Mountain West play. One of the things that New Mexico is doing defensively right now is on any side action, whether it's a pick and roll or handoff, they're keeping the ball on the side. They're not allowing San Diego State's guards to come off of screens. I think if you're big there, you got to flip the screen.
Tennant to Javis Miller, also in.
How about Hawk over the last 3 games? 8 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 4 assists, 56% from the field. The ultimate glue guy for this New Mexico team.
11.7 rebounds against Grand Canyon as well. Bird, little mid-range jumper, and it ties the game at 10.
Good job of Bird snaking that 2-man action, getting to the middle of the floor to carve out space for the mid-range.
These are 4 undersized guards and a big J.T. Rock in the rotation right now for New Mexico. The drive by Miller, turned away. Davis up ahead, Odin the catch, and the foul from behind. And that's to Javis Miller, who got him on the arm.
That was all started by Sean Newman in that outlet pass. And that's one of the things that San Diego State will see again. This is a terrific outlet pass to hit B.J. Davis in stride to get the ball up the floor. You know, watching a ton of San Diego State games, they're one of the best in the country. As soon as there's a rebound or a loose ball, of getting that ball up the floor with the pass, which is much faster than the dribble.
When you talk about similarities and differences, oftentimes the first place you go is offense. And yeah, these two teams are different offensively, but they're very different defensively. San Diego State is monstrously big and aggressive. They always have been ever since Steve Fisher arrived here. Whereas New Mexico plays this matchup zone or switching man that can morph one way or the other. There's Coach Fisher here tonight. Good to see him. And Mark Fisher, also still on the staff, is here as well.
And that was a great point, Rich. I mean, it's a San Diego State team. It almost looks like they're in a zone defensively a lot of times because they pack the paint. And New Mexico, their bigs are going to be in a drop coverage. So if you're a guard for San Diego State, you got to attack that, especially in the mid-range.
Hall, Tennant, Miller. Rock Collard for the ball. He and Oden are dueling inside. Ball's kicked. And they'll put some time back on the shot clock. Tennant, the freshman out of Prescott, Arizona. He's averaging 11 a game.
When you look at Tennant and Jake Hall, both of those guys scored over 2,800 points in high school. So coming in, even though they didn't get a ton of Power 5 lugs, they were extremely confident guards coming into the collegiate ranks.
Hopped, kicks, corner, Hall, shot fake, got it! That's a 4-point play opportunity. My goodness. Sometimes you get a shot fake, wait till they clear, but he got him in the air and went after him and drew the contact and hit the three.
I mean, he might have one of the best shot fakes in all of college basketball. I mean, gets Compton in the air there, and he knew as soon as that thing left his fingers that it was good.
Brian Dutcher couldn't believe it. He nearly jumped out of the quarter zip on that call in the corner, and he's still not happy. And here's Hall, who bangs home the free throw. It's a 4-point play and a 4-point lead for New Mexico. How cool is this for Hall and Hop to be playing here? Hop's the San Diego native. Point Loma Nazarene's a D2 school. He was there for 4 years, so he's finishing up here. And of course, Hall is Carlsbad High School.
I'll say this, Rich, a lot of these guys, Compton goes into the paint, gets a nice finish, probably have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They didn't get recruited by San Diego State, so this is a big-time matchup for them to prove their worth.
Tennant, Uriah Tennant. He, the 5'11" freshman.
Great sign for New Mexico. Over his last 2 games, 2 of 10 from 3. Has struggled in 3-point range. Able to get his feet set there.
That's efficient offense. 2 trips down the floor, you get 7 points. Compton missed the left. That's a push from behind, and that's going on Miller. As Tay Simmons had position.
See it in transition. Get a late closeout, getting the feet set there and knocking it in. And fun fact about Tennant is he is the leading scorer amongst players that are under 6 feet and are freshmen in the country.
I like that.
Yeah. A lot of specifics there.
That's all right.
You know, but
still notable, as is this guy. Look, Eric Olin was a longtime assistant at UCSD. Then when he got the head coaching job, he really ran with it. And last year, as they had transitioned into Division I, into the Big West a few years ago, he was along for the ride, took him to the NCAA tournament, and New Mexico came calling when Richard Pitino went to Xavier. Aubrey trying to size up Newman. Chol, a good 3-point shooter. Doubled. Miller, long rebound, and Chol tapped it out to Aubrey, who takes it to the hoop and scores.
That was a poor job of San Diego State. I mean, you rarely see them give up those middle drives because of how much help side they provide. But that was good read from Aubrey, seeing that gap and attacking it quickly.
They don't usually give up offensive rebounds either. Davis hasn't scored a lot his last 2 games, but he is their leading scorer, and he's fouled there. Shot at a 3-point play.
You look over his last 2, 5 points per game. Has only taken 11 field goals in his last 2 games. And again, and that mid-range jump shot's going to be there as New Mexico is in that drop coverage. You see Bullion, he's almost in the paint. So between him, Bird, Reeks, Dixon, Waters, those guys have to be aggressive coming off those 2-man actions.
It's a terrific look from the baseline. And the free throw is good. Free-flowing offense, it feels like right now. Neither team could shoot much in the first 2 minutes, but that's evened out now. Albury driving, kick to the corner. They like the three, especially from the corner, and Miller comes up short. Davis sprinting down the lane. Good ball movement. Taj DeGorville drives. Now it's Simmons. DeGorville. Compton tips it. Davis into the corner. Again to Gorville. This one's good.
That's the easiest three to make is when you get same side help corner, and I believe it was Miller that came off to Gorville. It's a simple read. I know New Mexico gives up a lot of threes, but you can't give up that easy of a look.
Chol hammers home a three. He's 6'9", but he's a terrific three-point shooter. He's hit 35 of them this year.
Struggled on the road a little bit. In road game, has shot under 30% from three. At home, he's over 42.
Simmons, open, takes the jumper, and missed it. Bouillon, the rebound. Leading rebounder in the Mountain West is Tomislav Bouillon. Ball's kicked. Timeout is taken. Aztecs and Lobos in a good one tonight.
See DeGorville getting his feet set and knocking down the open three. And then how about this read from Troll? A little miscommunication from San Diego State. The shots are starting to fall here now.
Good start by New Mexico, a 22-19 lead on the road at San Diego State. Such a San Diego flavor. Jake Hall, Carlsbad High School. Luke Hopt, after 4 years in D2 from St. Augustine High School. Chris Howell is injured and not playing, but he's a Torrey Pines kid as well. And so you've got the dads in the building. Mike Hopt is here. Mike knows San Diego State quite well, though he didn't get to play in this building quite yet. Peterson Gym, I believe, was the home back then. Back in 84, 85, he was a freshman here. And Jeb Hall, Jake's father, is here. If he's the guy that that taught Jake how to shoot, then he should be opening his own business, because this kid can absolutely shoot. He leads all freshmen in the nation in three-point shots made.
And the thing about it with Jake Hall's shot is he doesn't dip the ball at all. He's able to catch it right in place and go straight into his shot.
Hall, catch, shoot. And that felt like it was halfway down before it bangs out. See the bench points. San Diego State, one of the best bench teams in the country. Bird, a three. There's pushing and shoving because Guath is back in. And it was Hall, it looked like, that was tied up with him.
Looks like they might have got cross-matched in transition, and so Hall was doing everything that he could to try to keep Guath off the glass.
It's his first personal for Jake Hall. Hops, good D, got a hand on it. Hold on here. There's a disparity on the shot clock, I believe. And then they melt 1 second on. Good conversation going on right in front of us in the New Mexico bench. Guath is back in. That's good news for San Diego State. He left favoring that hip or upper leg on the right side. Coming off the screen. That's a sweet three from Dixon Waters.
Dixon Waters averages 4.5 points per game on pull-up jump shots, which is third in the Mountain West. A much better shooter off the bounce than he is in a catch-and-shoot situation. Just coming off that ball screen as we see it again. Jake Hall gets clipped a little bit. Great rhythm coming off your left hand, which is better to shoot the pull-up for right-handed players, and Reese Dixon Waters knocking it in.
After the held ball, it's a New Mexico ball. Bouillon, Chol, Albury, Hall, and Hopt. That's Chol again. Wow. Can he just shoot that three? That's his second one. He's got 36 of them. 6'9" guy, kind of a pick and pop.
And a rough start to his career at Rutgers. Only played 5 minutes per game. Went to junior college, was an All-American. Now having a great year here in New Mexico.
Davis spins for pressure. Falling away. And here comes Hobbs. Troll wanted to shoot it again. Hall won't hesitate. Missed it. And a rebound by Taj DeGorville. DeGorville gets in and scores.
I believe Hop was trying to take away the pass to the top of the key, but completely gave the baseline open. Good read from DeGorville.
Bouillon draws contact, gets to the line.
See it again here. Hop is pretty much playing on the high side completely. That's an easy straight line drive to the basket there. And I think that was just trying to make a high IQ play where you don't take the ball or don't allow the ball to get to the middle.
Bouillon's first free throw was good. Get ready for another epic round of UEFA Champions League. I love the music for this. European football's most coveted competition starts Tuesday, 12:45 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. Stream every match live on Paramount Plus. I think when you look for that music, you just look under Epic. Bouillon on his way out. Both these teams play a lot of people. Lobos without Chris Howell in this game. And Kevin Patton Jr. has been injured for a while as well. Matchup zone is a little difficult for teams to work against. And New Mexico will switch in and out of this defense, morphing from man-to-man to zone. Long rebound, Hopt has it. Lobos with a 3-point lead. Albury spinning. Bird from behind, got the block, but also got enough of Albury to draw a whistle.
Albury just puts so much pressure on the rim, whether it's in the half court or in transition. And on that switch, it was a great change of direction as Miles Bird came up to switch the guard-to-guard screen. And let's see it here. That's a great call from the fifth official. Guath got him on the face.
Did they call it on Guath or did they call it on Bird? They called it on Guath. I think that's what Brian Dutcher saw. He saw the clean block. He did not see Guath on the inside get on the arm.
I think on that one, Miles Bird has to do a better job as that guard-to-guard action is happening to switching and taking away the drive from Albury. Understanding when Albury gets the ball, he wants to get downhill and drive. He'll live with his pull-up jump shot.
The problem is he's so good at trailing and blocking too. Sometimes,
yes, that's a great point.
Sometimes he settles for that. Albury now has eclipsed 1,000 career points from Queens to Utah State to New Mexico, and Harrington, the freshman point guard, drops in a jumper.
He's also a great pull-up jump shot shooter. 3.2 points per game on pull-up jump shots, which is top 8 in the Mountain West.
Albury's cut off. The lefty Hopt fires. Bird has the rebound. Rosie Harrington. Bird into that defense. Fouled on his way in. That was before the shot.
It looks like Miles Bird is just playing so much more freer than he was early in the season. And talking to the coaching staff of San Diego State, they felt like he was pressing a lot early on. You could just tell the confidence, and he's just being instinctive out there, making plays for himself, making plays for teammates. Obviously, you could talk about how great of a defender he is. You look at the numbers, last 5 games, 12 points per game, but it's the stuff that he does that doesn't show up on the stat sheet that impacts winning, pressuring the basketball, getting steals, pushing the ball in transition, just kind of a jack-of-all-trades player.
Yeah, his skill set is so varied. And he can play a lot of different positions as well. Dixon Waters gets the rebound, and he gets fouled. Hopt got him and got his money's worth on that foul, and free throws coming.
We talked about it in the open. I mean, between Dixon Waters and Bird, those two guys just look so much more hungrier. You know, doing their game earlier in the Mountain West play, it just didn't look like there was a sense of urgency in their approach, especially on the offensive end. And both of these guys have really stepped up their game, and that's why San Diego State is propelled to the top of the standings in the conference.
Uriah Tenet is in. And Luke Hopt is staying in with 2 personal fouls. Under 8 media timeout, next whistle. Maybe they're going to try to get Hopt through to that. There's Bird with another steal. Bird walks through, and he's fouled, and that's before the shot. Miles Bird starting to take over defensively. Crowd starting to get into it. These two teams atop the Mountain West Conference and dead even with 7:52 left in the first. 28-28, New Mexico, San Diego State. Two teams atop the Mountain West standings. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, double dose of women's college basketball. VCU takes on Richmond. George Mason going head-to-head with St. Joe's and the A-10 at 2 right here on CBS Sports Network. Rhodey's good. George Mason, really good. Richmond, that's a top-heavy Atlantic 10. Brian Dutcher's forehead has been as red as his sweater a couple of times. He's been on the officials. Eric Olin, of course, and New Mexico. See the shooting. Olin and Dutcher know each other, like each other. One of the things that Eric Olin said about facing San Diego State with New Mexico, he had faced them with UCSD, is that he was very, very close to this coaching staff. And the thing that he appreciated, even though at the time UCSD was Division II, both Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher treated him as a peer, not as a D2 coach. Like, hey man, he's
right.
He said they made him feel like I was one of them, one of those, you know, coaches, Division I type coaches.
They could probably see the talent, you know, as Coach Dolan is an up-and-coming coach in this business. And you talk about what he's done. Didn't return a single player from the Patino era. 14 new players, and now to be sitting here at 14-3 and 5-1 in conference. What a job that Coach Olin has done.
New Mexico looking for a bucket on a 6-0 run is San Diego State. Tenet against Bird. That's a mismatch size-wise. Hall against Harrington. Hall launches a 3. He's missed his last 3. Bird, DeGorville, Harrington, Heidi, and Dixon Waters. DeGorville short on that, and the rebound to Heidi, who takes it away, bulldozes his way in. It's an offensive foul.
It's a great play from Miller. Just put his body on the line. Understand that Heidi was not going to stop his momentum, and yeah, he just goes straight into the chest. That is an easy call for the official. Great take there by Miller.
Something to watch. Quath has 2, but look at the Lobos. They've got a quartet of players and some real key ones with 2 personals. And both Hall and Hopt with 2 are in there right now. Bouillon battling down low. Hopt drives, gets in, tried to get it to Bouillon, who has it, sits down, somehow gets it back out to Miller. Shot clock's running down. Miller with a sweeping hook. Bouillon the rebound and the putback. But there was a foul before all of that.
And that's one of the challenges with San Diego State switching a lot, is that you're going to have a guard on Bouillon, and especially if New Mexico's guards are able to beat the bigs off the dribble. Bouillon is one of the best offensive rebounders in the country at 3.3 per game.
Bouillon misses. Bird cleans it up. Outlet knocked away by Miller. Off to Hopt. Hall's waiting in the wing. Tenet penetrates, kicks. Miller, that's a long 3. I mean, that's a 25, 26-foot tree. Davis. Yeah. Baseline jumper, and the run continues. The lead's 4.
He's so good in transition, playing under control.
New Mexico has settled for some bad threes the last couple of possessions.
And that's the give or take, especially that last one with Tenet. You know, when you feel the energy in this building pick up, you got to be very careful with your shot selection. This is a crucial moment in the game.
Two of the best venues in the West are with these two schools. The Pit is amazing. This place is always crazy. I'd throw Utah State and Arizona in if you're looking for a top 4.
I love that. I love that.
And coming up strong, Grand Canyon is an incredible place to call a game. So,
yeah.
I mean, you talk about great venues. I always, you know, having worked in this league, compared it to the old Pac-12.
Right.
And there weren't a lot of those type of venues in the old Pac-12. Arizona was just about it.
Washington had, I feel like, a moment there, you know, maybe in like the mid-2000s.
Ball's knocked out of bounds. And you're unique in that you played in the Midwest at Northwestern.
Yep.
But you were a West Coast kid for the most part growing up, both San Francisco Bay Area and up in Portland.
Absolutely. Loved watching Pac-12 Mountain West basketball as a kid, and just the talent. You know, you talk about the Jimmer Fredette days, Kawhi Leonard, the rivalry back in the day with the BYU and San Diego State.
That was last touched to Javis Miller.
And again, for Miles Bird, that's not going to necessarily show up on the stat sheet as a steal, but now there is a domino effect of that. As a New Mexico player offensively, you're just cognitive and aware and almost fearful where Bird is on the floor, especially when he's in help side, because he's always able to get deflections or disrupt the flow of the offense.
See the run. It's a 10-0 run. There's a deflection by Aubrey. Bouillon finds him. Aubrey goes in, tries to hit the trailer, and it's scooped up by Harrington. Harrington lost the ball into the corner. Reestablishing himself was Miller to get inside and hold the ball.
I don't think I've ever seen a player do such a great job of reestablishing themselves so that the official doesn't call anything.
And you got to have your 2 feet back in before you can touch it if you're out of bounds. Aubrey walked. No bucket in all of that, but some crazy action.
I mean, look at this defense from Heidi. I mean, he's 6'11", slides his feet, doesn't allow Aubrey to get fully downhill, and forces the travel. I mean, again, you could make the argument that on the perimeter, I bet you if you look at the analytics and numbers of how much the bigs have had to guard other teams' guards, it's almost like San Diego State's guards don't really have to play perimeter defense.
Bird got whacked right in the face. Miller. And the officials are going to converge. It's hard for the back official to see contact because he was behind him. See the back official? He doesn't really see where the hand went. He's asking the other officials for help. And they're going to go to the monitor to look at this. That's good officiating.
It is. I don't think that's a malicious play. I genuinely think that Miller was attempting to go to the ball, but
it sounds like they did call a foul on Miller, which would be his 3rd. And Tommy Nunez coming into your living room right there is going to be...
Ball on the floor is a common foul on red 2. That play is under review for a potential flagrant foul.
I'm with you. I don't see it as a flagrant.
No, I mean, you talk about 20, 30 years ago. I mean, that's just a foul, shoot your free throws, and play on. That's just part of the game. Because I always go about intent. What's the intent of the player? And he was clearly going for the ball and just happened to get a little bit of face with it.
Just a primer on flagrant fouls. Excessive in nature, unnecessary contact, but not based on severity. That's the flagrant one. Although it does underscore the foul issues now for New Mexico, as they have a lot of guys with 2 and now one with 3. Miller's got 3. Hall and Hopt. Hopt actually has 3.
Just heard the officials say common foul. So it's going to be a normal foul.
Following review, the play remains a common foul, red 2.
I like how Tommy was in dual form there. He's on the screen and up on the big,
Yeah.
up on the big screen, right?
Plenty of
behind
face
himself.
time.
That's right.
Into the foul trouble for New Mexico. This is a New Mexico team that only plays 8 guys. They've really tightened up their rotation, so that's going to be really big. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Olin will go deeper into his bench.
Well, Chris Howe's been out with an oblique for the last 6 games. He's a valuable guy. There's a look at him. Also a San Diego guy. And this run now stretches to 12-0 over 3.5 minutes. And of course, that's a drought for New Mexico that's approaching 4 minutes. Albury off a screen. Give it, Bouillon double, or excuse me, that's the big guy, JT Rock, who gets up with a left hand and scores. Rock at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, averaging 6 a game.
Great patience from Rock, utilizing the shot fake.
Oh, Davis. The 15-footer. Aubrey rises. And San Diego State is starting to clamp down defensively. New Mexico shooting just 36% from the field. 6 of 17 from 3. Bird, a 3. Rock the rebound. Tenet is going to get more playing time with the foul trouble in the backcourt. Rock, big man, ripped by Davis. And it's a foul.
That was a great play from Rock to not have contact on the screen. He slipped out of it at the last second, and that caused a little bit of confusion. And then Tenet's able to find him underneath, and even though he brings it down a little bit, Davis definitely got a little bit of risk, but that was a high IQ play from Rock on that pick and roll, understanding that San Diego State is switches usually on those, so it caused a little confusion, allowed Tenet to get downhill.
Farrell Compton comes back in. Rock just played well over the last 8-9 games.
He's coming off a game against Grand Canyon, 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Hasn't shot it great from the three-point line. 30%, 7-23, but you look at his form, I was watching him shoot around, and he's definitely capable.
So important to have 2 bigs in this sport, because bigs have a tendency to get in foul trouble.
Absolutely.
If you can split the minutes somewhat, you can mitigate that.
Bouillon has been struggling over the last 2 games. Rock, this is the second free throw. 5 of 13 from the field, only 6 points per game. Guy that almost averages a double-double.
To Gorville, lob pass. Compton missed the dunk, but he gets fouled. It's one of the great rivalries in the Mountain West, New Mexico and San Diego State, and they both are near the top of the Mountain West standings. A lot of emotion here. Big run by the Aztecs, have us up by 7.
San Diego State just has so many weapons offensively, and even guys off the bench can create off the bounce and get to their own shot. It's been a little bit of everybody, and good to see Davis start to get back in rhythm after struggling a couple games. But when you have so much firepower, especially on the perimeter, it makes it almost impossible to guard, because there's nobody that you can really relax upon. And if one guy is having an off night, you can always count on somebody else offensively to produce and create plays.
San Diego State's a much better offense in terms of efficiency than they have been in a long time. They shoot it from distance 38%. Last 4 seasons, look at that. Now look at to this season. This is a better offensive team. The jump in points, the jump in field goal percentage, the jump in 3-point. They're maybe not as overwhelming defensively, but they're getting better once the last couple weeks, those numbers have trended better. You can see the last 4 seasons offensively and this season. And they're not as devastating a rebound team this year, but it's working. I mean, they're 6-0, 12-4, and this run is stretched. Their biggest lead now for San Diego State. And New Mexico, in these final 3.5 minutes, needs to stop this roll. They want to hang tight. Albury working against Bird. Chol and Hall, the 3-point shots have not been dropping. Tenet shot down, got to get it up, and he missed the layup. So obviously it was contested. Cross court, Newman finds Dixon Waters. Baseline jumper, rims out.
Dixon Waters was thinking he was going to get a call with some contact there.
Boy, Bird is all over Hall. He will not let him breathe or think about a 3-point shot. Ball's loose. Albury finds it. Hall to Chol in the corner. Launches a 3 and hits it. Finally a big shot for New Mexico. And it draws them within 6.
That's what San Diego State's going to give up because there's so much help side. You get a couple ball reversals and stay patient offensively. Something is going to open up, and your complementary pieces are going to have to knock down open shots.
Newman running the point with Bird and Dixon Waters in the backcourt. Dixon Waters spinning, falling away. Got it!
So good off the bounce. A nice drive to the left. You spin off and create that space for the mid-range.
Rock throws it away. Dixon Waters. Bird a 3. Long rebound to net. Bujon coming back. Rock for the catch. The block, but a foul. Bird was up there. He may have been the one to block it and foul. We'll see.
Take another look. It's a great pass from Tenetz up the courts, and I would have loved to see, there was a little bit of wrist there from Bird on the backside with his left hand. But even with that, I would have loved to see Rock come down with it and play off of 2 feet. I think he would have probably even gotten an and one in that situation.
AT&T at the half's coming up. Brent Stover, Roy Hibbert, Pete Gillen. John Rothstein gets you caught up on a busy day and night in college basketball. It's all coming up AT&T at the half.
How about Grand Canyon getting the home win against Utah State today?
First conference loss for the Aggies, and Grand Canyon's now 4-2. DeGorville, that's an uncontested 3.
Coming into this one, he was 2 of 13 on pull-up jump shots. Takes a ton of them based on the minutes that he gets. And they went underneath the screen. And how about the stop defensively? You can feel the momentum fully swinging to San Diego State. Jake Hall gets hung up on the screen there. JT Rock is in the drop coverage. Great read from DeGorville, and then Compton bringing the energy defensively. This San Diego State team just so tough on both ends.
Last 2-3 minutes of a half can really change the course of a game. And right now, San Diego State is doing that. Dixon Waters missed the 3. New Mexico needs to answer and take a bite out of this run, and they cough it up again.
It's a great job of Newman staying in the backcourt to not allow Albury to push the ball up the floor. That's a high IQ play.
30-second timeout. Back after this, kids. 45-35. Essex. (45-35) San Diego State on top of New Mexico. Minute 17 left. Last 5 minutes, Brian Dutcher and the Aztecs have imposed their will on the Lobos, who at one point had a 6-point lead in this game. And this is more like San Diego State defensively these last 10 games.
Yeah, a lot of it is just effort, want to, and desire. And the head of the snake defensively is Miles Bird, and you know, he kind of sets the tempo in terms of being able to impact the game with his pressure, and other guys follow suit.
It's a moving screen, or is it Albury trying to fight through it? It's Albury trying to fight through it. It's his second. It feels like everybody in a red jersey has at least 2 or maybe 3 for New Mexico, and almost all of them are guards. Miller's got 3. Hopp's got 3. Now Albury has 2. Choll has 2. Hall has 2.
I mean, New Mexico is on pace to almost have 30 fouls in this game, and you just look at the positional size of San Diego State. They can be a little bit overwhelming, especially for a younger New Mexico team at a lot of positions in the backcourt.
11 is the biggest lead. Minute left. Bouillon. Got it up, missed it. Aztecs with the rebound. They can get a 2 for 1 if they get a quick shot here. To Gorville. This is Harrington. The follow, it's Compton.
And Compton hasn't had a lot of opportunities, only averaging a little bit more than 3 points per game, but he's been playing with energy.
Devastating run by San Diego State. The lead is ballooned to 13. Remember how animated Brian Dutcher was about 10 minutes ago? Now he's calmed down, and with good reason.
This is just a I want it more play. I mean, Bouillon, who's struggled a little bit, 2 points, 0 of 2 from the field, has to respond in the second half, but that's just Compton wanting it more than Bouillon. And Compton's a guy that's fighting for more minutes. There was a stretch, I believe 3 or 4 games ago, where he was averaging 14 plus per game. It's kind of slipped a little bit on the depth chart.
Lobos look like they're going to play for the last shot. Albury waiting out high. Hall running the baseline, coming up off a screen. He's the 3-point shooter. Albury gets downhill, kicks back out to Nets, missed the 3. And the Lobos watched a game that was even most of the way in this first half tip over on them. San Diego State with a big run, the 48-35 lead. Halftime in San Diego. Aztecs with a big run and now a big lead. After the break, we're going to AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Fresh Pets. Oh, look at that. That's the iconic Life magazine photo in statue and in real life. It's such a great military area here in San Diego. Rich Waltz on with Trey Demps. This was a game of runs between 2 of the top teams in the Mountain West Conference. San Diego State has a big lead, which is surprising because New Mexico got off to such a good start.
Yeah, they were able to kind of find some openings with some of the switching that San Diego State does, and you know, they were able to move the ball, not be stagnant offensively, get it from side to side. There's multiple guys that were able to knock down 3-pointers. Antonio Choll had a few, but it was the bench play from San Diego State that was the difference in this first half. 23 bench points, which is on cue for a team that averages about 40 per game. They just have so many weapons offensively, so even if one guy's having an off night, they have other guys that can pick each other up. It's such a good offensive team.
Summarize with me. It's brought to us by AT&T. What numbers jump off the page for you?
Well, I think 16 of 22 from the free throw line from the Aztecs is a killer, especially if you're New Mexico playing on the road. And see 13 first half fouls. I think that's been a huge key as well for this game because now for San Diego State, you have guys see the ball go through the rim, especially Miles Bird.
Been 10 seasons since San Diego State attempted that many free throws in the first half, and not a good start at all for New Mexico. They turn it over on their first touch of the second half. Foul trouble an issue. Hall has got 2. Hopt is in there. He's got 3. Bird playing peekaboo with Hopt. And the ball flips out. Bouillon has it. Up ahead to Hall. Spinning. Got it up. Guath fouls him. See, Guath got the block. I don't think it was Guath's foul. It was Harrington with the foul. Second half shooting for the Lobos. Better in the second half of the last 4 games, and that's the hope here, is that they get hot, but they got to make free throws. Hall is an 80% free throw shooter.
That wasn't even close. I mean, that pretty close to airballing with how short that free throw was.
So the lead is 12. Along with Bird, Dixon Waters. We got Guath and Heidi as the bigs. This is Heidi on a roll. Harrington in the corner. Bird a step back 3. Oh!
Man, you could just see the confidence from Bird. It's a great offensive position. You get multiple ball reversals after the high ball screen, and Bird is locked and loaded, ready to shoot.
Hall launches and hits one. If New Mexico's going to get back in this game, that guy and the rest of his backcourt is going to have to start shooting some threes and making them. They made 5 of their first 7 to start the game, and they've been miserable since. Now Bird operating out high. Dixon Waters been so good the last 7-8 games. Harrington, freshman. Missed the shot. And the rebound goes to Bouillon.
It's a good job of Albury fighting over the screen, making that a tougher look for Harrington on the mid-range jump shot up the pick and roll.
Hopt is a connector for this team, a glue guy. And things just seem to run better when he's in there. Bouillon with a nifty move, and he's in the scoring column with a baseline drive.
Bouillon was pretty much non-existent in the first half. You're talking about one of the better bigs in this league. You mentioned the guards. They're going to need him as well.
Leads down to 10. There's a turnover. Excellent job of the low blocks. Hall, corner, hot, 3. Got it! And the Lobos showing signs of life in San Diego.
Can never count out a Coach Olin coach team. Starting this second half, engaged defensively, making extra plays, moving the ball offensively. That's what New Mexico basketball is all about.
Another steal. Bouillon. Oh! And a timeout. What a run. A 10-0 run for Eric Olin and the Lobos.
It's Hopt first here with the corner 3 from a great look from Jake Hall. And I think Bouillon might have taken Mike's secret stuff at halftime because he's come out ready to play in the second half.
I need some of that secret stuff. The game of runs continues, and this is a big one for the Lobos.
How about the adjustment and response from this New Mexico team, getting it done on both ends of the floor. 11-3 to start out this second half, and now it's a 5-point game, and you put all the pressure on San Diego State.
During this run, couple threes, couple twos, and they forced a couple turnovers. Remember, San Diego State on this floor had a 24-point lead over Boise State on the 3rd of January. Now, they ended up winning that game in triple overtime, but it bears mentioning that they had an even more sizable lead at that point and then lost that lead and got to overtime. Out of the timeout. Let's see how the Aztecs react, and they throw it away. Hopt up ahead for Troll. Albury takes the pass. Bird blocks the shot. To Gorville up the floor. Trailing is Bird. 3 on the way.
What can this kid do?
What a sequence there. Chol gets the 3. That's an answer. That's a 5-point game.
Rich, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm looking at 2 NCAA tournament teams in terms of the talent, the fight, grit on both ends of the floor. This is a fun one to call.
For the Aztecs, much better than they were, it felt like, in November and December. They're playing really well. And New Mexico has exceeded all expectations with an absolutely different roster, different coach, different everything from last year. To Gorville, clock is down, in the lane, falling away, missed it. And the rebound to Bouillon, the leading rebounder in the conference, starting to exert himself. Aubrey. This is Hall. Davis on him. Hall, gifted score, just a freshman. Dumps it off, hopped, ball fake, driving, rising, missed it. Bouillon rebound in a crowd, and he's fouled. Wow, this looked like San Diego State was on their way to a blowout. This game is turned back, and it's close.
Man, how about that block and then sprinting the floor on the other end to get the open catch shoot 3, but Joel with the response with his 4th three-pointer of the game. We got a great one here in San Diego.
This game has tightened up 54-49. San Diego State on top. CBS Sports Network coverage. College hoops continues. We're going to the Big 12 for a nightcap. Oklahoma State and Kansas State. Jordan Kent, Mike O'D, and Ashley Moss waiting on that one. 2 pretty good scores on either side of the ball in this one.
BJ Haggerty is as good of a scorer that you're going to find in all of college basketball. Has made quite a few stops in his collegiate career, but has found a nice home in Kansas State playing for Jerome Tang.
Field goal shooting. You see New Mexico's come out hot. That guy, Antonio Chol, is such a unique player. 6'9", 215. He's much more comfortable operating on the perimeter, where he hunts down threes.
He was a pretty big recruit coming out of high school. It was Bouillon with a nice play. Oh, man.
Baseline attack.
It was the fake handoff, and a lot of times the biggest responsible for the ball handlers, and they shift their feet. But if you sell that thing right, you're able to turn the corner. And that's exactly what Bouillon did.
15-point lead is melted to 3. Lob inside, and that's hopped, I believe, coming in from the offside. That's going to be his 4th foul.
That's huge. As we see it again, you see Compton is in position to guard the ball screen with Jake Hall coming off. And then Bouillon just fakes it and turns the corner. But now with Hopton on the bench, it takes away your glue piece, somebody that can match up with Bird defensively.
Bird! Did you say match up with Bird defensively?
Yeah, and that's exactly with Hopton. I mean, with Hopton on the floor, that shot doesn't happen.
And a foul inside. Davis upset. Free throws coming. 19 for Miles Bird.
It was the same exact action that Bouillon had just had where he faked the handoff out of the baseline, out of bounds. Where on that one, it's a good play from Compton to hand it off to Bird, who's got the hot hand, and you cannot go under the screen on a guy that's already made 3 threes.
Bouillon 7 rebounds. And now 10 points, so he's on track for yet another double-double. And the lead's 4. To net into the ball game, gets through that screen, trailing Newman. Farrell Compton off the bench. Davis had a really good first half, scoring the ball. Bird trying to size up another 3 right now. gets the screen. Fires on a baseline run for Compton. To net. Hall. Oh, great find to Bouillon.
Wow.
2-point game. Long pass ahead. Compton the catch. Over Chol. That's a bucket. Now they're just trading blows. Chol thought about the three. Now the turnaround. Long rebound. Bouillon. Knocked away. Compton.
And I think the referees missed the call there. Compton put two hands on, I believe, Davis on that possession. That was a clear foul off the dribble.
Crowd's into it. Bouillon going hard. Wild hook. Got the rebound. Not done yet. Held ball. And the arrow goes San Diego State's way. Eric Olin is furious. This is the play you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he puts two hands and pushes. I mean, that's as clear of a foul. And again, the referees are human. They're going to miss things just like the players. But Coach Olin has every right to be beside himself.
Aztec basketball. Wide open, Newman takes it, missed it. Heidi and Bouillon. Heidi over his head. Shot fake. Oh, Bouillon just clobbers the block. To net. Albury driving, rising, and Bird fouls him. Free throws coming. Third foul on Bird.
How about this sequence? Great play from Heidi. Looked like he was going to be out of bounds. And he thought that Newman had something playing off of 2 feet. And then New Mexico is going down the other way. That's a great play from Albury on the other end of the floor to go straight into the body of Bird to take away his ability to be a shot blocker.
You noted free throw shooting in the first half. New Mexico's getting to the line a lot more here in the second half and making those visits pay.
Well, you see New Mexico just being the aggressors. They came out of this half on a mission, like on both ends of the floor. We are going to bring the fight to San Diego State. Now it's going to be interesting to see how San Diego State responds.
Sellout crowd, 12,414. In the Mountain West tonight, a big one. 2 top teams. San Diego State 6-0, 5-1 is New Mexico. Utah State lost today, they're 5-1 as well.
This defense from New Mexico, they don't really get into their offense until the 18-second mark. Great defense by Albury.
To Gorville, cut off on the baseline. Davis open 3, and he missed it. Tip, Simmons, and Rock comes away with a rebound. Up the floor, Albury pushing tempo. Boy, Chol was open in the corner. Long 3, Albury. Excuse me, that was Miller. That's Albury. That's Miller. That's a 3. 1-point game. Down 15. The Lobos are within 1.
How about the guts of Miller to take that 0 of 6 from the field before that one, 0 of 4 from 3, a hand in his face. That's the confidence that Coach Olin gives to his players.
Heidi, back cut, Simmons! Wow!
Simmons is coming off a big-time game against Wyoming at 10 points in 13 minutes.
Albury and Simmons go down hard. Albury's going to get free throws, I believe, although I don't know if he was shooting at that point. All right, there's that big 3. How about Simmons on the baseline?
This is just a big-time play from the freshman, getting over the rim. 63-60. We'll be back.
Earlier today, both teams came out with T-shirts, athletes versus ALS. This is an ALS awareness game between San Diego State and New Mexico. Fans inside the arena all have their signs and have the people or the things that they want to highlight in this fight against this terrible disease. We have ours. And you note the name Mark Fisher. He is the son of Steve Fisher. Brilliant basketball mind, was an assistant coach here at San Diego State for 13 years now. He's been fighting ALS. He would be the head coach in waiting were he not stricken with ALS. He's been an incredible resource, still helping the coaching staff. He's a brilliant offensive basketball mind. There's Coach Fisher and his wife. They're here tonight. And at times, they still lean on him.
Yeah.
You know, they'll ask him, what did you see? They routinely would call him at halftime of road games and say, what do you see? How can you help us?
And that's remarkable and inspiring. Just that he's, given a big chunk of his life to this program and continue to help out and support San Diego State basketball.
New Mexico back on the attack. Guath with a rebound off the miss. It's a three-point game here. San Diego State has a 15-point lead. A miss there. Miller has the rebound up the floor. Hopped is back in with 4 fouls. That's something to watch. He's such a valuable guy, not necessarily with points, but everything else he does. Aubrey spinning, almost out of control, and he got fouled on the arm.
So hard to keep him in front.
And that's Davis, and that's his 4th. So that's a key player now. Yeah, look at the right arm, the hand on the right arm.
It's the second time Davis has picked up a foul, kind of off the ball as the offensive player is going up into their shot motion.
So Hopt is back in, playing with 4 fouls for New Mexico. Aubrey, Hall, shot fake. Good defense. Hall's 3, short. That was over Guath.
See, he had a fade on that one just to create enough space to get it off, and he was short because of it.
Dixon Waters the miss. Rock had the rebound, saves it to Hall. Jake Hall, San Diego native in this one. Got 13 points. Gets in and scores.
That was a great refusal of the pick and roll. Sold it with his eyes as if he was going to go over the JT Rock screen. And that's the second time we've seen Jake Hall decelerate. He pauses his 1-2 step to the basket to time off the shot blockers and is able to finish, almost kind of like Luka Doncic does in the painted area a lot.
He misses a free throw that would have tied the game. And there's Dad. It's an 80% free throw shooter. Harrington.
Now I'd imagine San Diego State's going to try to attack Hopt a ton with the 4 fouls.
He's guarding Guath right now in this switch defense. And inside, Harrington with a layup. Javis Miller getting good minutes off the bench for New Mexico. Bouillon lost it, and it bounces on the baseline. And that's a turnover.
That's the 3rd time Bouillon has dropped a pass that he probably should have caught. And that wasn't the best post-entry pass, but you have to get it up high with the mismatch. You can't throw a bounce pass in this situation because you know Miles Bird is going to get it.
Bouillon's one of the most experienced freshmen in the country. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense. He was European players, 23 years old, with a lot of games overseas. Aubrey probing. Hall trying to loosen himself up for a 3. Chole's been good from distance. Hopt, got to be careful with 4 fouls. Aubrey drives to the lane and scores.
One of the things I like that New Mexico's doing offensively is off of the switches, they're looking for Bouillon down in the paint. And now all the attention is trying to help out there. And so I think it opens up the painted area as the guards for San Diego State are trying to fight Bouillon.
And that's an offensive foul away from the ball.
Because right now, all the attention is on Bullion. You see Harrington there. As Albury's driving, he goes right back to Bullion. You see it right there. And then that opened up the lane.
That's Guath with the foul, and you could see him come in high. So Guath sits down with 3. Albury probing again. Still in the lane. It's a kicked ball, and so it stays with New Mexico.
Yeah, I think this is the right call because Harrington sticks out that leg and makes contact with it.
Skate save and a beauty.
I think the fans are probably just a little upset because how late some of these calls are happening. But they're the right calls.
Albury. Step back. Didn't shoot it. Bullion smacked away by Dixon Waters. Heidi in for Guath. Elsie Harrington, freshman against freshman here. Bird having a big night for San Diego State to Corville. Clock running down. Around a screen, whips it. That's Harrington, late 3. Long rebounds. Hall has it. Driving on Bird, spins, falls away, short. He created the shot.
It's a good move.
It was online, but short. Crowd into it. Aztecs have not given up the lead. It was at 15 at its highest. It's down to 1. Bird off a screen. Bird to the bucket. Bird to the line. When we get back. 2 top teams in the Mountain West. They know each other so well. Rivals and emotions and big swings in this one. 1-point game.
It's been Miles Bird, especially in this second half. He's known for being a great defensive player, jack of all trades, but he's got the 3-ball rolling as well. And we know what he means to this team in terms of being the emotional leader. But this San Diego team is at another level when he's aggressive offensively.
Trey Depps put pen to paper and has his fresh pet keys to the game. Now we revisit to see how you did.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers. I think the last one stands out for Bird and Dixon Waters continuing to be aggressive offensively combined, 27 points, and they're doing it efficiently at 7 of 13 from the field. For New Mexico, controlling the tempo has been a little bit out of sorts at times, but I feel like they've done a good job, even in transition, making a lot of the right reads.
Eric Olin. We talked about Brian Dutcher and their relationship. A lot of respect between these 2 coaches. Now, you did drop a Mike secret sauce in the first half, right?
I did.
So what has been the secret sauce for New Mexico to climb back in this game? They were down by 15, and it looked like this one was going south.
Sometimes it's not necessarily X's and O's. It's competing and buying into the fight. And especially for a guy like Bullion, I feel like he was the one from the first possession of the second half. He's come ready to play after, honestly, a poor first half.
Oh, Bullion, how about a 3? Missed it. Dixon Waters the rebound. He's 0 of 4 this year. He was wide open for a reason.
He's 3 of 14 on jump shots this year, so this is not part of his game.
Harrington misses his jumper. Hopt is still in the game with 4 fouls. Handling the ball right now. He's the glue guy for this team. Things run better when he's in. He was the only guy who had plus numbers in the first half. Hopt gets in and scores with a left hand.
That was a great retreat dribble to make the defense relax, and then it was a re-attack with the right hand and using the baskets as a shield to finish. Great move from Hopt.
Guath is on the bench with 3 fouls. DeGorville, straight on look. That's a clean look. He's starting to get a little more confidence in his offensive game.
He's so talented. You look at his frame, got a nice body, 6'5", can shoot the basketball.
Bouillon against Heidi. Body to body. Gets into the paint. Gets it up. Gets the board. Gets it back up and scores. That's a strong human being.
You said it, man. That is a grown man move. Missed the hook shot initially on Heidi, but understands where the ball is going to come off the rim, which a lot of great offensive rebounders do. Just a terrific play from Bouillon.
Bird
there from Tanet.
Long one from Bird. An ambitious three. And a chance for New Mexico to take the lead here. They were down 15. Great second half. Bouillon's feeling it. Maybe too much. Up ahead, Bird catch and finds Harrington. There's a lot in that toolbox for Miles Bird. San Diego State by 3. Terrific game in the Mountain West, back in 30.
See a mismatch here. You got Reese Dixon Waters on Bouillon in an isolation post-up, and that's just great help from Heidi coming over and poking the ball. And how about the play from Miles Bird to catch it in air and then hit Harrington for the easy finish in transition.
Crowd coming to life on that one. New Mexico's done a pretty good job in the second half of keeping the crowd out of it. Back to a three-point lead. Tanet. Chol, the three, well short, and that is not saved. Rock was way out of bounds when he touched the ball.
That was a great screen off the ball from Hopt to free up Chol, who has 4 threes tonight. But that was an even better job of Reese Dixon Waters fighting through that off-ball screen and being able to get a contest.
To Javis Miller into the game, and Chol sits down. You got 4 guards and a JT Rock out there right now. Sean Newman Jr. in for San Diego State with the ball, running point. With DeGorville, Simmons, Compton, and Dixon Waters. Feed down low.
You got a Spanish ball screen where you get a high ball screen for Newman with the back screen afterwards, but all the attention was on that, and they forgot about the cutter.
Tanet. And he's fouled.
See here, I mean, we've seen numerous times
That's
where
the foul right there.
San Diego State has gotten their hands in the cookie jar, and they reach a ton off the ball, even one pass away. Give New Mexico's guards a ton of credit. They've done a really good job of keeping the ball out in front. A lot of times if you put it back on your hip, you're going to get it stripped cleanly. But if you keep the ball out in front, a lot of times the help side defense is going to hit the wrist.
Tanet knocks in a free throw. Four points for Tanet. And he draws New Mexico within 3. 4.5 left. Viejas Arena, San Diego State. First place in the balance here, at least a share of it. If New Mexico beats San Diego State, then it's a 3-way tie for first with Utah State, San Diego State. San Diego State wins this game. They stay unbeaten in conference, and they're all alone in first place. DeGorville, corner, Newman, Bodies hit the deck. Good offside rebound by Tajavis Miller.
And I love that help from Jake Hall because Newman is not a three-point shooter.
Hopped with a corner three. This game is tied. 4 minutes left. It's a block. And a bucket.
Great ball movement from New Mexico. Swinging that ball over to Hobbs. And Hobbs doing the rest, getting his feet set. It's going to be a great one down the stretch here in San Diego.
'75-73, San Diego State on top of New Mexico, 3:49 left. Let's flash back. Close game throughout. This is back when Lamont Butler beats New Mexico. Yeah, he didn't just do it in the Final Four. He did it his whole career. This is the 99th meeting all time. And it might be a while before they face each other after this year. They could face each other, obviously, again this year, and then in Mountain West's conference tournament play. San Diego State and New Mexico. San Diego State headed to the newly formed Pac-12. New Mexico staying in the Mountain West. And we're glad you're staying with us. 3:49 left. Been a terrific game here. A 15-point lead for the Aztecs. That bucket did count at the going to break. So a 2-point lead here for San Diego State. Off the missed free throw, a chance to tie or take the lead. Tanet against the taller Compton. Good move by Bouillon! Oh, my! Bouillon! Incredible footwork and then strength to get the dunk.
And because they're switching San Diego State defensively, puts so much pressure on the guards to have to guard him one-on-one. And a great job from Bouillon going quickly against Davis. If you're Davis, you want to probably send that ball to the middle where you're going to have all the help side. You see the switch, and then Bouillon just spins quickly to the baseline, and there's no help there. And he's able to finish it home.
16 and 12 is Bouillon now. 75-75. That's another foul. Tanet picks up 2 fouls right away here. Still a couple away from the bonus.
They're going to run the Spain action here where you get the back screen ball screen with Reese Dixon-Waters.
Bouillon! Acting like a bouillon in a china shop. Knocked Davis down, knocked the ball all the way down the court. What's gotten into this big guy? He's having an incredible second half.
The key here is for Tanet to try to make Davis change directions a couple times.
Shot clock is down. They don't have a lot of time here. Davis, 5 seconds on it. Heidi!
And it was Jake Hall on the backside who wasn't there. I think he thought there was going to be a switch and to stay home on the shooter.
Timeout, New Mexico. Eric Olin and the Lobos. Hostile environment in a 2-point game.
I want to take a look at Jake Hall right here. I think he thinks at the end of the clock there's going to be a switch. So he's going to stay home on this pick and roll action. And Bouillon was late on that pick and roll, and a great read from Davis. Just a little bit of a miscommunication. A lot of times you're taught to stay home at the end of the clock on a high ball screen. And there was just a miscommunication at top, and Jake Hall was late for the help.
San Diego State by 2. New Mexico last led at 28-27, and then they fell behind by 15. But they've come roaring back here in the second half. They've tied the game twice. They've not taken the lead yet. 2:44 left. Sideline out of bounds. Lobos. Hall to net. Scholl is back in and hopped. Bouillon to net, driving, falling away, difficult shot. Bouillon, big man. Bouillon, oh, it's an and one. Nobody can stop him. Tomislav Bouillon.
And again, I think we're going to have to find the bottle of Mike's secret stuff in the back, because Bouillon has been a completely different player in the second half. Wasn't active offensively, defensively. This is a new version of him as he almost airballs the free throw, but he's been the catalyst for New Mexico getting back to this ball game.
So New Mexico draws even again. Davis is back in. Driving, Davis. Lost the ball. It's a turnover for San Diego State.
And Tenet's got a little bit fortunate there. I think he thought there was going to be a pick and roll, so he opened up his feet to allow Davis to drive to the baseline, but he was able to recover by getting his hands on the ball after the drive.
I know he's not the headliner here, but the fact that Luke Hopt has been able to stay in the game with 4 fouls is enormous. If you go plus minus, what have they done when he's on the floor? He is leading in plus minus for New Mexico. Tenet gets in deep. Scholl blocked by Bird. And a foul on Scholl. How about Bird? Look at that.
Just coming out of nowhere. And they do such a good job on the weak side, freeing up Scholl for open jump shots. I think on that one, though, you have to curl it and put pressure on the rim, because you got Miles Bird, who's so long defensively. You put the ball on the floor, you'll probably have a floater in the lane.
That was the last foul to give if you're New Mexico. They have 6. San Diego State with 10. So free throws from here on out. Timeouts are interesting. Aztecs have just 1. New Mexico's got 2. Buck 45 left. A thriller here in the Mountain West. Davis driving, cut off by Tenet. DeGorgo's played well tonight. Bird has been fantastic. Rising, missing. Hall has the offside rebound. Tenet up the floor. They like to spread you out, look for a 3 or a drive to the bucket. Tenet, bounce pass. Blocked! I think it was Bird again. Stolen! Bouillon! Big man coming!
Wow!
Now they've got the lead, 79-77.
That was a great screen there from Davis, not allowing the defender to get in Bouillon's way.
Heidi's fouled Bouillon. What a sequence.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, that's like a DB for Bouillon. But look at this from Davis, just kind of running in the way of BJ Davis for San Diego State to allow Bouillon to get the free lane to the basket.
Miles Heide really struggles from the line. 8 of 21, 38%. And it's 1 and 1. You wouldn't know it by that stroke.
You read my mind. I mean, that's a sweet-looking jump shot.
One more to tie it. Cooley knocks down 2. Game is tied. Minute left. New Mexico wants a timeout. They get it. We told you. Top of the Mountain West on display here in San Diego. Back in 30. Here's your reset. 51 seconds left. Both teams have challenges. San Diego State 10 fouls, 7 for New Mexico. 79-79. New Mexico ball. For those of you tuning in for Kansas State, Oklahoma State, you'll be able to find it streaming free on the CBS Sports app at cbssports.com/CBSSN. As soon as it tips off, and of course, after this one's done, we'll get you out there. Well, this has been a fantastic college basketball game. 79-79. New Mexico and San Diego State, two of the top teams in the Mountain West. Tanet driving in the lane. Lost the ball. It stays with New Mexico, 15 to shoot.
Don't love that possession for New Mexico. Not that Tanet is not capable, but you want to get the ball in Bouillon or Hall's hands. Even with Bird on Hall, you got to get the ball in your best guy's hands in this situation.
To Javis Miller in the ball game. Hall around. Bouillon stolen! It's Bird! How many big plays will this guy make tonight? Blocks, steals, threes. Deflections.
This is why he was on a lot of boards for the NBA.
San Diego State not using that last timeout. Not yet. Shot clock's at 10. Heidi kicks. Davis, 7 to shoot. Davis, tie game. Leaner on the way. He hit it! 11 seconds left. Lobo's not calling a timeout. 2-point game. Tanet rising. Missed it. Ball's tipped. San Diego State has it. 2 seconds left.
Wow.
And the Aztecs and their fans rejoicing right now, but it's not done yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if they look at the clock.
How about this steal? I mean, you fighting through a screen against Jake Hall, one of the best guards in the Mountain West. And then you have the awareness to turn around and just take it. And then Davis, he is the clutch guy for this team. They're going to put the ball in Davis's hands in late game situations, and man, did he deliver.
Wow. So you can see the officials. They're watching to see if they need to put time back on the clock. It was deafening in here, obviously, off that miss. Doesn't look like they've added anything, at least not yet. There's a free throw coming. Trey, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a clear foul. I mean, that could have easily been a play on, and the game could have been over.
It looks like they've added a point from 2.3 to 2.4. And New Mexico does have a timeout.
Time on the clock is reset to 2.4 seconds.
So a free throw made means New Mexico can only tie. Miss a free throw and a three, even a half-court three, could beat you. Dixon Waters is a great free throw shooter. 85% in this sport is great. It's harder for a team off a missed free throw to set something up.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. You got to consider, I think if you make the first one, you make the second one.
If he makes this, it's pretty much over. With one caveat, 83-79. We've seen it in college basketball, and we'll revisit it when we get back. Not much time left and a 4-point Aztec lead. 83-79, 2.4 seconds left. Trey, does San Diego State even defend them in this case?
I don't think so. I mean, because by the time, even if you get a made three-point, the time that the ball is caught, put it in the air, he makes it, worst case scenario, game's over. You win by 1.
Yeah, you don't want to be Notre Dame and Cal, right?
Right.
No 4-point plays.
Or Chicago State.
Coming up, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Tannett stepped over the line, and that is a turnover. And so now San Diego State has the ball, and they'll just have to inbound it.
Yeah, it's the right call.
Wow. All of that work, down 15 to come all the way back to take the lead. And now San Diego State, 1.4 seconds left. They'll get free throws here. This is a heck of a game.
Wow.
A heck of a comeback by New Mexico. The leaner by B.J. Davis. The steal by Miles Bird. All of that adding up. Heidi misses it. This game is over. Terrific night of basketball in the Mountain West. Two top teams, and they sure showed it. San Diego State survives at home, 83-79, and the Aztecs sit alone atop the Mountain West at 7-0. 6-1 is Utah State, and New Mexico falls to a third-place tie with Nevada at 5-2. For Trey Demps, our entire CBS crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.